Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the 8 Cube Circus podcast. I am once again joined by Xenaid, and this time Denish has returned from his excursion. Denish, are you ready to start getting back on the 8 Cube Circus?
Yeah, I'm not Canadian anymore. I can speak American now. You guys can actually have me on again. I'm really excited for this episode. We've got some fun stuff planned.
So, you might be asking, why am I in Snap right now looking at this magnificent Corvus split that is totally better than Inkwit Purple Crackle? The answer is we've got a bit of a different start for you guys today. We are doing the Bully Snap segment. So you might ask, what is the Bully Snap segment? Well, here it is. We are all going to play one game of Marvel Snap. In that one game of Marvel Snap, we are going to try to make our opponent retreat before turn 4 is over. So, no matter what we do, our only goal is to make our opponent retreat. And we all have one attempt at this, and we're going to see who can get them to retreat the earliest. We are playing on my account because I am the most passive snapper out of the three of us. And let's get right to the decks. We're going to start off with Xenaid's deck. So, Xenaid, would you care to take us through your Bully Snap deck?
Bro, it's just Iron Patriot. And hopefully they'll leave on Sauron. It is Iron Patriot, and we're going to do disgusting things on turn 3. If they leave by turn 3, then we're happy. If they don't leave after turn 3, we're sad. But no one knows this. Thank God this is on Smlz's account, because no one's leaving against me, man. Alright,
Very good strategy
ready?
here. And we are going to start right away. And
Wait, we're only playing one game, Smlz?
we are all playing one game.
Bro,
Let's run two.
You
I
want to
think
run
we can all
two?
play
We can
two.
run two.
Yeah.
we will go run one. If they retreat on the first one, we don't need to run the second
We are
one.
playing
Yeah.
at a
Sorry,
very
improved
high
curve.
rank as well. So this is going to be against
And
some of
I've
the
seen
best
bigger.
players in the world. Here we go.
Yeah, it's kind of a mid rank actually. I don't know.
Mid.
I was higher rank earlier this season. I don't know, Smith.
Yeah.
John.
You got this with negative, you said?
John Snap coming out. Here we go. We're playing against this guy.
Oh, bro, I don't know this guy. You think he's gonna
Xenaid, you are
retreat
going to
properly?
completely control the plays. You have Bob, you have Patriot.
Oh, we got Bob on one. Is that IP? Oh, we got Bob IP. It's
Oh,
free.
wow. Oh, we
it's
win.
fucking free. Wait, Bob middle. Bob middle. It's so free.
Wait, this is gonna be glorious. The snap's gonna push into Kunlun as well.
Oh shit. Wait.
Uh-oh.
No. Okay. IP now, and we have to wait till after the gambit to snap.
Oh! That's a pretty good location.
Yeah. Yeah. IP mid.
Mercury coming
Once
down.
again, the goal here is to have them leave before turn 4 ends. So if he snaps at the start of turn 4 and then gets a retreat, we're good to go. That counts.
All right. So I think we gotta hit the gambit proc.
Ooh.
Oh wait, no, it's nega right. Nega right. Nega right.
You realize they have prior.
Priority.
Yeah. Wait, he has prior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gambit right. Gambit right.
Gambit
Yeah,
right.
right.
Make sure you hit the reaction wheel on the card, on the Mercury, so that we actually get the hit.
Wave. Oh, it's a.
Oh no!
Black.
Oh, this is not a retreat. This is not a retreat.
We still
Oh,
gotta try
I think I
though.
lost. I think I lost. Do we value his cubes at all? Cause
I think you
I'm
gotta
down to
try.
press this. Huh?
I think if you got to snap, you gotta do it now. You
Yeah,
gotta do it
yeah.
early.
I think we have to try.
Give it a shot.
All right, hit it. Give it a shot, Sis.
Let's see
You're
if
gonna
he
have to
leaves.
snap. If he snaps back, you can retreat.
Yeah, if he snaps back, you
He's
can
not
leave.
second.
Oh no!
Why did you snap second?
I
Yeah,
just
you took
snapped.
too long. Destroyer right to try to win the game.
No,
Yeah,
he's
Destroyer
gonna
right,
Galactus me.
Wait, go destroyer left. Destroyer left.
Fenris left pulls a Hulk.
He does.
No, we
on,
destroyer
you
Do
left.
it
man.
later.
Galactus thing.
Destroyer left is good. Yeah. Oh,
guys.
Smlz throws the game. I think we leave for 4.
We'll play it out.
We
No,
weren't going to play
actually-
these games out anyways.
Actually, we could save his cubes.
Low-key, Fenris middle might save his cubes.
Yeah, Fenris middle. No, it's Nega left. It's Nega left. It's Nega left.
Yeah, you want to play Negasonic.
No way.
Hey, what's that?
It's Galactus.
It is Galactus.
We give it back. We give it back to him.
Wait, yeah, we
Wait,
do.
no, it doesn't work.
Wait, we might win.
No, we don't. We don't. It's not destroyed.
No,
by
we
him.
don't give it back. That's
We have to
on
play
our
the
side.
gladiator. We have to play the gladiator left.
Why wouldn't we give it?
And then
Wait, what?
because it's in
It's not in
our
our
pool.
It's their destroy. So we got Black Cat.
Yeah, we're good. We win this game.
Yeah, it's
And then
Glad,
play-
Surge
yeah.
mid, Thoron left.
And then yep. I think you just
I think
I think
we
you
might
win here.
win.
Wait, if he retreats now, it's still a retreat, right?
no.
No.
Yeah, it's not a bully snap. Wait, but we're just earning Smith's cube.
I think we just.
Is this against the...
This feels
is
like
this
it's
against
against
TOS?
TOS. Yeah, hold on.
This might be against TOS.
This guy's thinking
This
real hard
guy's
about if he
thinking
wants
he
the
has no
Galactus.
idea why we
That's got
snapped
real
back.
thinking. He's like, how did we lose after this turn 1, 2, and 3?
I'm trying to think of a play he
Hey,
can
that's
make
the
that
power
actually.
of an IP card.
How does he even win
That's
here?
the power of an IP card.
Yep.
I don't think he does.
I think he's.
I think he's cooked.
Not a real bully
He
snap
could, like,
though.
Yeah, it's not a real
It's
bully
not a
snap.
bully snap.
I
Bro,
feel like,
it's not my fault Smith missed the gambit.
yeah, I feel like we had to snap the moment the turn flipped to try to get him to just
Luna.
impulse leave. What's he got? Cannonball left or Shang left is a little scary, but not really.
No, it's not. C-ball left isn't scary. C-ball would have to go mid.
Nothing
Even
is scary.
Seaball mid
Nothing-
doesn't win because
Yeah, nothing is scary.
Claw.
Oh! No, it's not big enough.
It's not big enough.
Oh, he got scammed for 8! You know what? We have to do a second game after that.
You know
We
what?
just won you as many cubes as you were expecting to lose.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? We bullied Snapped correctly. He just didn't leave.
Yeah, no,
totally
he
correct.
didn't respect the bully snap.
All right,
should've left.
Xenaid, here's game 2. Oh my God.
Oh,
Here we go.
I really hope my Alliance chat sees this.
They see the deck? Oh no. What are
New
we
meta.
Sauroning? Our own
They're
Cosmo?
gonna see the deck.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that poor
All right,
guy
here we
lost to
go.
Sauron left. Oh no. Oh, this guy doesn't leave ever.
Oh, he doesn't leave ever?
This guy doesn't leave ever.
Wait, no, he
maybe
does. He
will.
does. He does
Yes,
here.
he does.
He will here now. Yep.
I think you turned 2 Snap here, right?
No. We have to snap post destroyer.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
because our
yes.
goal is to get them to leave. We're not trying to
Yeah.
maximize cube game.
That's true.
Bro, we have to.
Is he throwing left?
Yeah, he might be Cerebro. No.
Well, let's find out.
He's Cerebro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we snap. He doesn't have Luke Cage. Wait. Actually, it's correct to
Wait,
snap after
it's
the
Soren.
gladiator.
It's Soren. It's Cerebro. We snap on the spot.
Yeah.
Snap. There's
Yeah.
no way he leaves though. It's too early.
No,
You
it's
Star
he's never.
Eyes the
Yes!
Guys, we fucking did it. Oh, Turk. Alright, so not only did I successfully bully snap, but I won Smith 8 cubes.
We're
So,
gonna almost hit 9K.
All right,
All right.
Denish.
I'll go
that is
100%
very
was by me.
tough
So I had to do it on my second game. Alright, so you guys beat me by going on your first game.
Denish.
Put me in, coach.
Walk us through your bully snap deck. It's
All
loading
right. So the idea here, I'll let it load first. This
that's
is
a
the-
really tough one to beat. What a start!
What a start 8 cubes into a Sauron retreat.
That
This
is
is
the
the Marvel
most
Snap
quintessential
experience right
Xenaid
here.
experience I think I've ever seen.
All right. The idea here is people do not like Wiccan, and so I'm going to play really strong curve turns 1, 2, and 3. I have a couple ways to play Wiccan on 3. That'll definitely get people to leave. And then also, if I want, I can float turn 1, play Ravona. And because it's on Smlz's account, he's a dirty -1 trick, so people will just respect it and then have to leave. And so we have got a couple lines here that might do some dirty things.
Alrighty. Here we go.
I'm surprised you didn't fully commit to the negative bit.
I don't think I need to. I feel like Ravona's enough. Even just Psylocke as well.
One thing I've
I
learned
think-
is that
I
people
think
do
those-
not
he-
respect. It's Husky!
Oh no!
No, he's not. Wait, no, he will retreat. He will retreat on Bravona. It's Husky.
It's Husky. He knows what's
But
going
we
on.
don't have it. We didn't draw it. Uh-oh. Okay, I
No,
think we
this is
have
fine.
to...
This is-
We can't top deck it because of Domino, so we have
Yeah.
to go for a Zabu line here. I would Zabu and try to get turn 3 Wiccan. I highly doubt I'm going to get Husky to leave.
I think a better line is just to go for the Negasonic and blow him up.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the Wiccan. I mean, if we draw Wiccan, we'll probably just go for it. I would Domino not left so that we can get Tarak's value. Okay, thanks, Smith.
Well, we wouldn't have gotten
What
it
happened
anyway.
to us playing?
He's
What the
playing. He's
fuck?
definitely playing Derek V hand. Ooh.
Absolutely.
I think you. Oh, you.
I
you
think
know
we
the
have
one,
to
right?
Negasonic,
I think we
right?
can. Yeah.
No, I think we have to Negasonic. He never leaves on a Cassandra Nova.
All right.
Because we have to snap after this turn. I
Yeah,
want
we have
want you to
snap.
buffer the snap as soon as the turn ends. Snap.
Oh, yeah, snap.
snap, snap.
His deck is
snap,
bad.
snap.
His deck is bad. His deck is bad.
All right, and now we can just play the Cassandra Nova, right?
It's a quick
I mean,
silver.
we're leaving and then play like Quicksilver, yeah. We
I think
leave
he's
if he
leaving.
doesn't
I
leave.
actually think he's
He's
leaving.
dead.
I'm not sure if he leaves here. God damn it. All
Oh.
right. Let's-
Yeah, I
well,
think I'm already winning then. Unless you win 8 cubes here, there's no way you top my record.
God damn it. We can Gambit Psylocke, which is decent. I don't think we play the Psylocke, actually. Just Gambit. Yeah, just play
Yeah,
Gambit
there's
middle.
Ramona.
We're trying to hit...
No,
I don't even know what we're trying to hit. Anything, really. I think he activated his Herbie on the energy spell, so he's going to go
He
crazy
did.
middle this turn. Then, yeah, we could probably just retreat later. Let's see if we're even close in the middle.
what is
I
he?
kind of doubt it.
He's on a Mockingbird Sasquatch, I think.
What is the idea there?
So he has 8 energy next turn.
I'm almost curious what he's going to do.
Probably like Mysterio or something.
Yeah, you can leave later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough when you don't draw the Wiccan curve.
Yeah. It was bad draw, but also I think Husky's one of the worst people we could have queued into.
I mean, we blew up his guy, right? But I guess he noticed our deck was bad.
Unfortunately, he noticed the deck was bad. All right, then.
That's what happens. A lot of the time, streamers don't like leaving because they just want to see the content play out.
Denish to get one more shot.
Oh god, I'm already Johning. I should have just played Agatha. He wouldn't have left against Agatha either, actually.
He definitely would have left against Agatha.
No.
No, with
people-
his shitty deck, I think he does. His deck is bad.
Oh, I know this.
I don't think
this
he
guy's
cares.
playing the most.
Oh no!
This guy
doesn't,
never leaves.
he doesn't leave.
Especially
Okay.
not a Wiccan curve. Hey, maybe if he draws horribly.
We need the top deck Surge. Would you look at
Oh.
that? Oh wait, that's not how Surge works.
Yep. It's not. We need Mr. F.
Oh
Unnerved.
no. We need Psylocke, but we draw Domino. Yeah, this guy doesn't leave ever.
Well, it's because his deck plays for Magic in turn 6.
Oh.
Oh no, this is good. This is good for us.
Surge?
Domino. I would Domino middle, trying to get Tarax.
I think the best. Yeah, Tarax. I think Tarax he does leave. If you get a 3, oh
He'll still probably leave against Tarax.
yeah.
We just need to draw it.
Oh,
Oh! Snap!
that's not
Snap
good for
now!
us.
Snap now! Snap now! Okay, and now we can
that-
just no, don't gambit. Actually, yeah. No, we have priority. I would just
I don't think
I
he
mean-
ever leaves on that snap. I think that was incorrect.
he probably doesn't, but also I think if he's going to leave this game in the first 3 turns, that was the time to snap.
Yeah, you're probably
I think
right.
you just surge.
Where?
Not
Right.
right.
No, it has to be right.
Yeah,
Otherwise
Check it
you
on
don't have
the
enough work to.
check it on the left. No, because he can still leave next turn. Just check it on the
Okay, fine.
left. Ah, damn it.
Wait. Hold on.
Okay,
Gambit,
if you
it's
gambit the Dakin,
I
he will leave.
I could gambit the we
We'll
could
give
gambit
you
the
one more
we know.
turn.
I know this guy's entire deck. If we hit this 1 and 3, he will instantly retreat and it will count.
Okay,
It is
gambit
our
right with
only
Ravonna.
chance.
Yep. I believe. Can you start emote the
Yeah,
Dakin,
emote.
please?
Use your
Smz!
It's too
Miz.
late.
This is all. That's your fault.
That's on Smz. Oh.
It would have been it too.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
now we can leave. We don't even need to see it play out. All right, Smiz's turn.
All right. So
I think the
Denish
Wiccan was a
went
little too
minus
ambitious.
4 cubes. Xenaid going plus 9. Now it's my turn.
Yeah, I went plus
So,
9. So I mean,
I have gone with Mr. Negative V-Hand Frigga. Pretty much, I'm infusing every single like good 2-card combo, hoping I draw one. It's gonna load for a second, but basically, I have infused a lot of lines into this deck. We've got the Green Goblin for location snap. We've got Nico draw 2 snap. IP Gladiator snap, playing out a ridiculous copycat and then snapping afterward. We obviously have the negative stuff. I think I'll get one person to leave on my bully snap. Alright, so it's time to try out my bully snap deck. We had some technical issues, but we are ready to bully snap some people here. Here we go. We're playing against Tommy.
bro, you're not getting him.
You're not getting a retreat. Tommy's deck is too consistent.
Also, like, not well. You have the Ravonna.
The Ravonna
do.
could carry, but not
The
if you
Ravonna
play the
Abby.
Nico.
Yeah, the Ravonna into Abby snap might do it. I don't think you're allowed to play Nico though.
Yeah, you can't play Nico because you have to feign negative. Although you're running negative, so you might just play negative as well. So what we do here is we snap turn 3.
Yeah, you have to pre-snap this. I think.
If I top deck negative, I post snap.
Well, if you draw
Yeah.
negative, you snap after. Oh my god!
Wait, no, this is bad.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, but you wanted to draw the negatives card.
Okay, I would snap. I think you pre-snap it, right? Yeah. And then you could like, I don't even know, Gladiator.
But like, I think a good player stays here because they realize that your hand is like full and you can't.
We'll see.
Let's say.
You can't
Yes!
draw your Jane.
Oh, hey!
Shit! Wait, so all we have to do is play Ravonna?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tommy's
this is how I do
okay.
it.
The one thing, the
Wait,
good players will not fold to bully snaps as easily, but they'll absolutely fold to Ravonna snaps.
Wait, so Smlz wins, huh?
Oh yeah, Smith just won. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Because he got on his first game. Wait, how did Smlz win the bully snap challenge?
There we go.
Oh my god. He got one
I
with the
think-
blooper as well.
Yeah,
Oh
so-
no.
Yeah, I think
So
honestly,
this
I deserve the win for earning the most cubes.
Yeah. My recording crashed during this, and the first game I played, I bully snapped Cerebro after pulling Cerebro with Gladiator. So, I'm doing great. I'm a professional bully
Yes, this
snapper.
is technically 2 for 2 if you believe him.
Yeah, whoever made this Smith deck is really smart and stuff.
So after that little bully snapping adventure, we are here to talk about the next part of the podcast, Snap's most broken cards. So broken means really 2 things here. Either a card is just straight up overpowered, or either a card we believe to be sort of a design issue, something that's like the design of the card is broken, doesn't really make sense, or maybe something with the card is just really not healthy for the game in our opinion. We are going to discuss all of that, and first up, it's the boogeyman himself, Juggernaut. So Juggernaut, as always, you all know, 3/3 on reveal, move away all enemy cards played here this turn. Xenaid, will start with you. Why is Juggernaut broken, and do you think he's the best card in the game?
Oh, Juggernaut for sure is the best card in the game. And I think just like Juggernaut's so good because he guarantees you win a lane if you just play him correctly. Like the person, that's why like priority. Juggernaut's the one card in the game that makes getting priority good, right? And I think like another thing's like with the location variants, like a lot of times you're not able to play in all three locations. So like the better a player you are, like most decks aren't made to like put 9 to 12 cards on the board, right? Like you're usually playing 1 to 2 cards per turn. Like turn one you're playing one, turn two you're playing one, usually turn three you're playing one. So you usually end up around like 7 cards played in general. And Jug usually gets a lot of value in those games. And yeah, like win a lane when you have prio is a really strong effect.
Yeah, I think the fact that this guy just wins an entire lane is not okay or healthy. I've always been a bit of a Juggernaut truther. I don't think he's as ridiculous as some of the other cards on this list. But the fact that it is when have priority, you probably win. Even though it has bad matchups like Zoo and Thanos, that doesn't even matter because of how ridiculously polarizing it is in the other ones. If there's even locations that decentive that make it so you don't want to play cards in them, like vibranium mines. Juggernaut's not even like projected, so you get cube equity out of it as well. People don't usually put cards over there until it's way too late. And so if you can just win a lane and then jug the other one, he's also only 3 energies, so when you play him on the last turn, you can pair him with like a Cosmo, Gladiator, Surged Shang, all sorts of stuff. It's yeah, a goofy card.
Yeah, I definitely think Juggernaut is probably the best card in the game. It's just win a lane for 3 energy. So with 3 energy in this game, you're looking at some very powerful cards, but none that really say win a lane. Even Starbrand, which is a 310, does not say win a lane like this guy does. Just getting priority in this game is honestly a little bit easier now than it's ever been with as much of the reactive tactics like Cannonball Mercury and stuff like that. I think that the way Juggernaut interacts with this stuff, it's really the only thing keeping those decks from being just like tier 0 be the fact that they don't want Prio. Juggernaut is just a phenomenally strong card. He says win the lane for 3 energy. It's incredibly powerful. He's got great synergy in the fact that you can sort of lightly commit to one lane, the lane that your opponent's sort of throwing into a late, juggernaut that lane, and commit pretty much all your power into this giant second lane that your opponent has no way of beating because your power is concentrated like 75% in this one big lane and then like 25% in the small lane, but you won the small lane because of Juggernaut. It's just a bad game dynamic, I think. I'd really like to see this guy get more of a deck building cost specifically. I think the effect is so strong because of how low the deck building cost is. Like if this guy cost 5, he'd be a lot worse. And probably a
Yeah,
lot
I
more
mean, I think the
balanced.
other thing with Juggernaut is like you don't even have to just play him on turn 6. I think so often like people will play out 3 cards in the lane, like save their last spot for the big card. You can even like you can use them earlier, right? You can knock people into bad locations, like into nowhere, into deep space, into space throne, right? Like there's just so many ways, and there's a lot of locations that self clog you as well. So Jug's like kind of the Hail Mary card where like if I know a matchup is bad for me, but Jug is like a 50-50 of clogging, I can just play him out and I auto win that game if he knocks him into the lane, right? It's just his effect is so powerful and so versatile, especially in the hands of like higher level players.
For sure. And now to move on to the next one, I want to touch on it quite a bit. We're going to talk about Agatha. So Agatha is game start, draw Agatha. She controls your cards on even turns. Obviously, that's a detrimental ability. Not being able to play your cards on even turns is really bad until you realize they just printed Redshift. And now there are like 7 ways to get her out of your hand on turn 2 or turn 3. But the part that Agatha breaks the game with is that little first part where she draws herself. This means basically you're playing an 11 card deck with a 6 cost starting in hand, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard for Hella decks. If you're able to redshift her, Corvus her, Moon Knight her, and by Corvus I don't even mean Corvus discarding her. Corvus giving you energy to manually play her on 5 so you can control your turn on 6. You're drawing through your entire deck, So these other cards you want to use, such as Jubilee, Blink, all those guys, they are all of your 33% odd plays turn into 50/50s, and all of your 50/50s turn guaranteed, which means you get way more wins because you just know what's happening and the opponent can't. And so it's gotten to the point that I actually just snap on turn one if I have Redshift in my hand, which is like 45.45% of games. And I feel like I win like 90% of my games with Redshift. It's just a ridiculous synergy. Also, Redshift is, I think, one of the dumbest cards in the game right now. Discarding left is absurd, even if you don't have Agatha like in your deck, because you still get the turn one knowledge of what Redshift will hit eventually, and so you can snap on that. But also, he adds a replacement card to your hand of the same cost, so you always get another 6 drop. And so, most of your games, if you're running Hela Ghost Rider and you have a way to reproc, you can revive one of the 6 drops with Ghost Rider Hela, and then you can revive the second one with the other Ghost Rider or Hela. And then if you have a third one, you can even revive that by just reprocking with a Grandmaster or an Odin. Just really goofy. The fact that it's basically old Chavez, except you draw it on one. So you have better draw the entire match, but you don't even miss your turn 6 draw. It's just ridiculous. I really think they need to change this card.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit weird. So, about, what is it, almost a year ago now, they changed Agatha to only work on even turns. With Redshift being as it is now, I think they might look to revert that. I just think that I agree that it's very stupid. Plus one draw is one of the most powerful effects in the game, especially the 11 card deck.
Yeah, and just to touch on this a little bit more, what I feel like it's almost done, releasing Redshift with Agatha, is turned Hela Agatha into a negative style deck, which we'll touch on a little bit more why I think that's problematic. But it's so polarizing of if I have the thing, I win. If I don't have the thing, I might win anyways. And if you have the counter card, I lose. I think that that's an incredibly unhealthy dynamic that once again we'll touch on once we get to some of the later cards on this list. But being able to snap like that, and just because you know, hey, I win this game like 96% of the time, ridiculous. Zen, do you want to touch on Agatha at all?
Yeah, I mean, comparing to Chavez is like an insult to Agatha because old Chavez would improve your draw, but like with Agatha, you get down to 2 cards. A lot of locations, like sometimes even draw you a card. So in those locations, you draw your whole deck, and like there's no deck that wants to be drawing their whole deck more than freaking Hela. So I think Hela Agatha is absolutely disgusting. But let's say like Tech Agatha, like the decks that we're running like Cosmo Jug, you just know they have it. So like you almost can never even scam a win, right? It's like basically like playing against Cerebro as if they had Cerebro every time, right? It's like in a lot of games you're allowed to stay because there's only a 1 in 4 chance that they have like the guaranteed win. But mathematically against any Agatha deck, it's incorrect. I literally started leaving for one against Agatha snaps. And I think like if she could start in your starting hand, like when you draw your first 3 cards, if you if Agatha's in there and she doesn't draw herself, maybe she'd be a bit more balanced. But man, this card is not okay. It was even broken in Grand Arena, man. It got banned.
I don't know if that's the reason it got banned in Grand Arena. I wasn't following it. I don't care that much about that. But another thing is the Agatha dynamic to the Hela decks. What she's doing is she's turning your low rolls into Agatha low rolls, where it's like, okay, I'm low rolling, but it's because Agatha's playing my cards, rather than I have no cards. Because like I very rarely have no cards. The issue is now Agatha's playing them. And so obviously if you can't get her out of your hand, that's a low roll. But that's a very different low roll than, oh, I didn't draw Hela. The issue isn't not drawing Hela. The issue is not getting rid of Agatha. And you could almost account for that by adding another discard like a Moon Knight in, or a Wave even, which is something I've been messing around with. I don't think Agatha's even solved yet, and I still think it's one of the best decks in the game. I think top 2, to be honest. I know the stats aren't great, but people aren't very good at playing Hela regardless. And from what I've seen from her, I went up like 600 SP. I hit almost 9,000 SP with her while I was on vacation. I immediately pumped it all because I started playing Scream and all that stuff because I had like a 14-hour car ride with nothing to do. And I kept like getting disconnected. But from what I've seen, this card is like peak. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, so I played a bit with the Agatha Hella list, and when I wasn't actively going for like 1 in 4 gambits and 1 in 4 Ghost Riders and basically just memeing the whole way, I was climbing on this. So I've played Denish Hella a lot, and this felt weird. It felt different because normally with Denish Hella, there's so many playlines I'm thinking of. It's like I gotta wait this, I gotta wait this, I gotta wait what path I want to go down. Do I want to take a 1 in 3 to win the game, or do I want to take a 50-50 to likely win, but maybe not? Stuff like that. This just kind of feels like autopilot. It feels easier. It feels like I don't have to think as much. Like before when I was playing Hella, like if I was tired, I was just ruling out Hella as a deck I could play because it takes quite a bit of thinking. And now it just kind of feels like it's on autopilot. So I think if there's ever a time, if you've wanted to try some of the best versions of Hella that have really ever graced the game, this is the best time to do it. I think it is a good learning step. And then if if they nerf this and you like the learning, maybe you can try out more Hella in the future, especially the ones that really are more thought intensive than this. But the next card we need to talk about is the proverbial big red alien in the room, Arishem. So Arishem has, since his release, probably been the most debated about card in the game. Arishem released now over a year ago, so it's been over a year with this guy in the game. Game start. Shuffle 12 new cards into your deck. On turn 3, get +1 max energy. This guy has gone through a ton of nerfs, and yet he still won the Golden Gauntlet 2 a year after his release. I know a lot of our thoughts about Arishem, but let's start with Denish. What are your thoughts about Arishem?
Yeah, I despise this card. I don't think it's broken like strong, to be honest, except for in Conquest. I just think it's broken and obnoxious. Like the fact that you don't lose most of your games against it, but when you do, it's 8 cubers because you get so much information asymmetry is not my favorite thing in the game. I had a couple games, or I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was less than a week ago. I got Erishim and Bakud twice in a row for 8. And it's like they didn't even know that was happening. That's not actually my issue with the card, but it's still absurd. I hate Erishim. My genuine issue with it is the fact that the downside is worse draw, but the worst draw is just information asymmetry. And so when you get these situations where it's like, oh dang, I only have Ares, I'm not ready for them to have a 412. Obviously, if I'm not on Hella, it's a 412. Or like, oh shoot, I accidentally got Angel. Okay, I shang them. Now there's 3 power that I wasn't ready for, but they knew because they had it in their hand. Any situation like that, where it's the opponent having way more knowledge than you, that's the issue that I have with the card. I think the max 1 energy isn't outweighed nearly enough, especially since this game start. I know obviously they took it away from the first 2 turns, but +1 max energy is a really powerful effect to the point where they've always tied it to garbage like Electro, or made it symmetrical with Luna, or made it so it discards half your hand with Corvus. And they've made it really hard to abuse. Erishim's energy is not hard to abuse, especially in situations where you don't actually have to deal with your downside, such as having good draw one game. I've seen games where Erishim players just don't draw the random cards, and it's like that's not fair. Like the fact that your downside doesn't affect the match that you're currently playing is, in my opinion, awful game design. And I do want to hear what Xenaid thinks about it as well. I might pop back in after.
I mean, I just hate like the concept of deck building for Arishem because you can't deck build for Arishem. Like every Arishem deck's just running every single tech package and hoping you draw it, right? And when you play against Arishem, you're just fucking doing the math, and like you shouldn't be like retreating a lot of the time. It's on like, do they have Shane? Do they have Legion? Whatever, right? But the thing is, like, if they snap early, you can never read their snaps, and it's like really annoying because kind of all the skill that you have leverage on, like playing ladder, especially, like you can't utilize when you're playing against Airsham. Even the skill that people have for like conquest, you can't utilize the skill that you've been building. So it's like more like kind of just throwing everything into the wind and hoping it sticks.
Yeah. So this card was not as much put on for broken power level as it is for broken design. At a point in time, Arishem was one of the most broken cards in the history of the game when it had when the on turn 3 text said at the start of the game, and it had a ton of amazing support cards like 15 power blob, Mystique to copy the blob. It had what? It had Profex. It had Doctor Octopus. It had all these insanely powerful Sandman. All these insanely powerful 5 costs that it could just play on 4 and destroy the game. I know I was completely fed up with getting Doc Oct on 4 into Shanged, and it was just all over. I have hated this card for quite a bit. I liked it on release because I was having fun and I was more casual then. But now that I've like sort of been more of a more competitive minded player, I hate this card. I hate the information asymmetry that it brings, really. So like having your cards, like you don't know what they're playing. Like Xenaid said, it's impossible to read an Airsham snap. And if you want to read a player's snap in this game, if you want to like read a snap in this game, you should be rewarded massively if you get it correct. If you sort of identify they're snapping on a juggernaut, but I can play around it and win more cubes, that's how you can do it. I think that Airsham is a card that has a slight design flaw more than a power flaw, although it is undeniably a powerful card. And let's kick it back to Denish, who has another point they'd like to touch on with Airsham.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of this until I realized they just nerfed all the 5 costs because of Erisham. So Erisham literally ruined ramp in this entire game. I don't think ramp with 5 costs with broken Profex or Dr. Octopus would have been healthy, and I'm glad people weren't building it very much. Or Sandman, even then it was strong, and I don't think it was super healthy for the meta. But now they just can't print strong 5 drops because this guy's here. Anytime they print a ridiculous 5 drop, it can just get thrown in Erisham, played on 4, and now basically no ramp deck can exist other than stuff that Erisham can run without it being broken. So they don't want to print 5s that can be played on 4. I had never put it together that this was the reason, but the fact that they keep nerfing all these 5 drops, like, yeah, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, Profex, it's because you can put him in Airsham. But also, like, I feel like, not Dr. Octopus in particular, but if you had a Dr. Octopus strength effect, by the way, Dr. Octopus used to pull 4 cards into the lane and then get shanked because it always pulled Shang-Chi. But he would basically clog the opponent in 1 lane for 5 energy and pull all the cards out of their hand, which was a ridiculous ability, but it's only really ridiculous when you play it on 4. But he can always play his 5s on 4. Whereas I feel like a deck that runs Luna Snow, that's a lot more fair to play a 5 cost on 4. Or a Corvus or an Electro. Like, I think Erisham genuinely just ruined ramp in this game, and I had never put that together. I want to know if Zen has anything else to touch on Erisham or Smlz before we move on to the next card.
I mean, yeah, I think the proactiveness of like playing proactive 5s is just impossible, right? Like you can't play a proactive 5 because Airsham will do it on 4. You know, like that's not good because a lot of the strength of cards in the game lies in like the turn you play them on, right? So yeah, I agree. Airsham killed ramp.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this card is something. But I also think it's not even like I don't. Some of it is Arisham's fault. Obviously, you can't put like that strength of a 5 cost text box anymore because it's on 4. But even then, you have to make very specific cards if you want to play them on 4 now. Like 5/8 IU was a very specific card in the sense that it didn't quite work in Airsham specifically, just because the it was sort of you were already not drawing your stuff because you already had a pretty clogged hand when it came to Airsham playing, because especially this was during the era of Companion Thanos, so you were always getting +1 draw. If you didn't draw your stones, then you were getting the IU, and you were trying to play more so big guys so you could get the images of Icon and stuff. I think really that Airsham is restricting design space a lot. It's one of a few cards in the game that I think would be better off deleted from a competitive integrity sense, but from a fun gameplay sense, this guy's really fun. Uh, it's sort of the casual versus competitive divide in this game, but I think that this is the most pronounced.
Rat.
Yeah, say rat from me thinking that the card is fun to play. Uh, really, I think the biggest divide in this game is from a card design standpoint is casual versus competitive, which is something I'd like to touch on briefly here. Cards that are fun competitively are sort of like the Fenris Wolves, the Cannonball Mercury, the stuff that's just good, whereas the stuff that's fun casual is just like the stupid combo stuff with the Nimrods and sort of a lot of casual players might like negative. A lot of that stuff. I think Airsham really tilts in the favor of the casual player and really not the competitive player, which is a bit of an interesting dynamic, I think, to sort of see such a pronounced divide over one card, and no card has captured this like Airsham. So is there anything else you guys like to touch on?
Nah, get him off
Get
my
them off
screen.
the screen. All right. The next card we're going to be talking about is Mercury. And I know Cannonball was very happy when he saw that text box, but Mercury, 2/2, you can move this once. Ongoing, enemy cards here can't move. So, Mercury Cannonball, it has taken the meta by storm. Everybody knew this was good when it was data mined, and it is really, really strong. And now it's really showing its true colors. It has been put in a 3-card package with Fenris Wolf, and people are finally starting to find the optimal versions of this combo deck, and I hate it. I think this is really annoying. I'm happy it chased move out of the meta, if that's worth anything, but I think that Mercury is a tech card that needed to be printed, but it didn't need to be this strong. You can move this once as one of the strongest lines of text you can put on a card in this game. And really just putting that on a card with that powerful text box that you know synergizes with a 5/8 that's already very good is just a recipe for some disaster. The part I really want to stress about this is the moving text box with Mercury, because that's the part I think is the broken part. I don't think the ongoing is. Being able to effectively play this on 2 and then on 5 or 6, choose a lane that you want to win. Mercury Cannonball is probably winning you that lane 95% of the time or more. You get to effectively choose which lane you want to win. You don't have to plan in advance. You can just say, oh, I'm just going to move this card here to play it. And it's just, I'm just going to move this card here because I now recognize on turn 5 that this is the lane that I really need to destroy something in. There's no really way to sort of play around it with your placements. It's just you have to react with a tech card to it. Also, moving is good, just getting into locations like Bar with No Name. Not Bar with No Name. Stuff like Sanctum Sanctorum and all that stuff. Just moving is a very strong effect in this game. Also combining it with this cannonball piece where you can have a targeted destroy on 5 of whatever you want, then revive it with a Fenris Wolf. That's at least like a 16, 18 power swing. It's really good. Also, being able to reposition the power is nuts. I think the part that's the most broken about this is the targeted destroy, where you just go target, boom. Obviously, there's the anti-clog piece of it where you can like move to not clog yourself in a lane. Haha, that's so clever. But I really think that this is a bit of a design issue, and I'd really like to see it looked into, especially that you can move this once text. Maybe you can make it a 2/3 without that text.
I'm more of the I hate Cannonball camp, but yeah, I think Merc Cannonball, like the interaction itself, is a little bit too much for kind of where the game's at right now. It just feels like Merc is the answer to a lot of like move shenanigans. I mean, Merc also locks other Mercs down. I think it would be a lot better if Ench and Red Guardian were in a better place in the meta. But unfortunately, the Fenris package is just more points than kind of you trying to turn off their Mercury. Also, like I feel like Cannonball's still the offender here because 5-8 win a lane. Like it's so hard to win a lane where you think they're gonna Cannonball, and Cannonball like can reduce every game to like a 50-50 on where he knocks the card. So I mean that's like more my gripe with the card. I just don't like the Fenris meta, and I'm pretty sure Denish and I are very big dislikers of this Fenris meta. But yeah, I don't know where you're at, Denish.
Yeah, Zen and I were trying to play the complain game, and he tried to tell me that Fenris affects him more than me. I don't want to hear that anymore, Zen. But yeah, I am not a fan of any card that brings Fenris into the meta. To be honest, I don't even lose to it that hard. It's just annoying. Like I don't want to play against that card, even if I'm not on Hella. Like my cards are supposed to be my cards. If you want my cards, run them yourselves. It's the same issue with Loki. Very well, it's a different issue, but it's very similar. But yeah, I think the movement is the most ridiculous part of Mercury. Also, the fact that it's a tech card that beats itself, and so there's no reason to run any other tech card because it's also like peak of meta. So obviously, yeah, if the only way to beat it was Enchantress or Red Guardian, you'd have more diversity. But the fact that you can Mercury their Mercury, it's like I don't think you should be running Enchantress under any circumstance unless you're playing like not Agatha Hella. What else should even be running Enchantress? Basically nothing right
Sauron is the
now.
only like deck that justifies running Ench,
Yeah, Sauron is a
but
good example.
it's hard to justify it right now.
Yeah, because 4-6 versus like
It's
a
a it's
two
a four
three,
five, no?
a 2-3. No, no, it got buffed. It's 4-6. It's a
Oh
four
shit,
six, but also like uh, Fenris
it's
is like
really bad. That's what
it's a
it is.
Fenris is like a 210. So I don't think. And then Mercury is like supplementing a 5. I don't even know what he's hitting. Like 6 power minimum for 514. That's a red skull. And
Yeah.
yeah. I don't love Mercury. I don't hate it as much as other people. But yeah, the fact that they're trying to get away from tech cards and then they print this. I don't even think they printed this on purpose, by the way. I think they're just too stubborn to change it. Because this card released by accident, basically. And I think they just hadn't finished tuning it yet. But they also haven't changed it. So maybe this is the final state of how they wanted the card. I don't know. Smz, you want to touch on it a little bit more?
Yeah. I will start by saying I am a fan of Mercury, the idea of it. Anti-move tech card, sign me up. I hate playing against move, and this was the best tool we have gotten to counter move effectively, and just making it the target to destroy with that move is just devastating. If it were me, I'd probably make this a 2-3 without that text. But alas, we are on to the next cards, which is the hard tech, the final section of this. Hard tech in this game is stuff that straight up counters. So in this case, we're talking about the ongoing tech cards that counter an entire strategy. We've got the 3 poster children of this: Mobius, Cage, and Stardust. Dennis, take it away.
Yeah, so the way that I see this is these are the 3 main offenders. Sometimes people throw in Killmonger, but I don't think Killmonger counts. But basically, the idea is okay, so we have this ridiculously strong deck in negative, this very overtuned deck in Affliction. It used to be overtuned, it's a little bit forgotten now. But Affliction had always been like, oh, this deck is like the best numbers you can get. And then now we have Agatha, where it's okay, so I can win every game if I play this card on 2. And we have these direct counter cards where it's okay, you're playing those decks. Now I have the counter card, so actually you lose. And I think that that's unhealthy because it turns the game into rock, paper, scissors. I don't think it's fun to play Stardust, Luke Cage, or Mobius against those decks. I think the issue is we need them because those decks are way too strong. But my solution would be balance those decks, not print cards that are direct kills kill switches. I think if they just balanced the three decks that are afflicted the most by these three, it would be fine. And just to be clear, I'm not anti-tech card. I am strongly pro Fenris. I think it's really cool that what that brought to the game. As a tech card, not necessarily with the Mercury Cannonball thing. I'm in favor of Mercury on its own as a tech card. I think the way that that interacts with move is really cool, where it doesn't actually kill the deck, but the move player can actually play around it. I think the fact that it has the movement ability on it is a little bit iffy, but even then it only hits one lane. But like Luke Cage retroactively hits the entire board. Stardust prevents all forms of Hela putting power onto the board. And Mobius prevents all cost reduction in the negative deck, which is the main way that they put power on the board as well. Obviously, these decks can tech against this to an extent with Rogue, with actually I don't even know what Affliction does. It just has decent numbers into Cage, to be honest. But even then, you're not beating Cage if they're actually doing something decent like Cerebro. And then Stardust, you just need to run Enchantress, and then a way to reproc your revivals, or to go with a more cost reduction method, which then dies to Mobius. But that's like a different issue. I am not a fan of the direction the game's been going with these three cards specifically, as in let's nerf all the other tech cards that are actually pretty well made, like the Red Guardian. I love Red Guardian. I love Shang. I love Enchantress because they deal with one spot of the board, one point of gameplay, rather than this sweeping effect that hits everything. But I'd love to know if you guys have anything extra to add about these hard tech cards that destroy specific strategies.
I mean, like, there's like zero deck building cost for a lot of them, except for me. Like, I can't play them because Sauron. So I can't play these cards a lot of the time. But I've found my way, like, making Mobius into deck, putting Stardust in deck, especially since Sauron doesn't, like, hit everything nowadays. It just feels like, especially when they're overstated, it feels really criminal. Because they just, like, there needs to be a big enough opportunity cost to be playing it. And they're not making your deck, like, that much actively worse. But, I think Second Dinner's design philosophy is, like, they need these as valves to make sure, like, decks don't get out of hand. But I also think proper balancing would also, like, make it so those decks don't get out of hand, right? But I think, like, with the direction with card games generally go, which is, like, power creep and things getting stronger, it might feel like these are necessary. But I just don't like the game. It feels like when you're not able to run certain cards, like Cerebro's a good card because it's the best Mobius deck, right? It was the best Mobius deck that could play like Cosmo, etc. And it just feels like you're just finding the best shells for a bunch of tech cards. I'm really scared of Thanos ongoing, like making a comeback in the meta, because all these tech cards end up being ongoing, and Thanos can output like sufficient power to like take advantage of them. But yeah, what do you think, Smlz?
So I have played I've played a lot. I've played a good amount of negative recently. I've played a good amount of Affliction in the past, and I've played a ton of Hell in the past. So I've played all three of these archetypes quite a bit. I am not a fan of hard tech. In this game, I think the solution to negative is balance negative, because that card in that deck is something else. I'll just do a quick aside on my thoughts on negative. I've been playing negative this season because I think it's ridiculously good, and I think a lot of Snap players have no idea how to play against negative. They all forgot, and it is saddening when someone stays in for an 8-cuber and you're Zolaing a Gore into an Iron Man Mystique, and they're playing something and they're just going for points. There was one game I played where somebody put 24 points in 2 lanes and stayed into a negative Jane. And I was like, I am so disappointed with this community after that game. I really think that the solution to negative is just balance negative. The way I'd do it is I'd make Gore a 6/7+1. Take him out of negative, and all of a sudden, negative needs a lot more points to pop off than it did before, and it needs a lot better draws. So I think that one change solves negative, and you can balance a card. You can sort of balance Mobius accordingly. Maybe cards can't have their cost reduced by more than 1. Maybe that's the new Mobius thing. So if you were to reduce, so you can still play reduction strategies, but you just can't get super greedy with them. Cage might be able to be Cage with affliction. You might have to tune down the points in affliction. Maybe make Man Thing a 4-6 and Ajax a 5-5 and Diamondback a 3-2 and all that stuff. And then maybe you can make Cage something like something one-sided lane, something like that. I don't know the exact fix for Cage. I think that's the toughest of the three. And with Stardust, I just don't even know what to do with this card. I think it's a concept they've wanted to explore, but I don't think they should look to print more of these cards. Because what it ends up doing is they're trying, I assume their theory for printing this is this increases design space, but I think it increases design space in a bad way because you're increasing a design space in a ceiling perspective, not from an approach perspective. You're letting it go taller because of the tech card. You're not letting them approach it in a different way. Whereas I think they should be focused on approaching things in a different way with their design space. Maybe create a new card that really enables a new archetype of this stuff. Maybe something that takes certain cards in your hand and brings them onto the board, sort of like a Hela in a sense, like a Hela deck in a sense for a hand, versus just saying like, I print this card so now we can make Redshift and just go completely tall and bonkers. I really don't like that way of game design. I think what it does is it really warps the way they can design stuff into promoting ceiling and just points over approach.
Yeah, for sure. I want to touch on a couple arguments people have in favor of these cards. First of all, why would I run, for example, a 3-2 or a raw 4-7? Or when Mobius was a 3-3, a 3-3 in my deck? That feels understated. The issue I have with this argument is if you have a bad matchup into Affliction, an example would be Surfer, which, by the way, 3 cost, kind of want to, whatever. If you have a bad matchup, and it's really just one matchup that's giving you a lot of trouble in the meta, why would you not run the tech card? Like, okay, so now I'm playing a Surfer deck. I'm supposed to lose to Affliction because they're afflicting my Carter and making it harder, but I don't now because I have an insta-kill. And so now I instantly kill all of the Affliction decks in bad matchups. Another thing would be like a Stardust. Combo decks traditionally beat up mid-range decks, and obviously mid-range is kind of loose. What I mean is fairer decks. So decks that are more consistent but lower power. They kind of get destroyed by Hela, they get destroyed by Nimrod, and obviously there should be things in place for that. Usually it's Shang, Cosmo, Juggernaut, which is a different problem, Shadow King, stuff like that. Stardust addresses all of it. And so if you have a mid-range deck and your issue is too much Hela or too much Nimrod, I don't think the solution should be run this one wacky card and then all your problems are solved. Another example that Zen's bringing up in private chat is End of Turn. End of Turn had a couple bad matchups, so they just tech in a Mobius and a Stardust, and now all the bad matchups are just gone. They don't have them. The only times they lose are bad draw to like those matchups. Obviously, there's still a couple bad matchups that don't have direct counters, but you still shouldn't be able to look at a matchup and say, I want to win that one, actually. That's my problem. Zen, if you don't have anything to touch on before we wrap, I want to also give potential alternative solutions.
No, man, I just hate these cards. I can't even play them, so I mean, you go, man.
Yeah, so my thought is from Mobius. His issue is he hits the whole board. He hits basically all cost reduction. So my thought is let negative do its thing, but I want my cards to be reduced the same amount. And so make them a 3-3 or a 3-4 that says for each cost reduction my opponent has on a card, reduce one of mine as well. And so if my opponent flips a Gore, that gives 6 of my cards minus 1 cost. And I think that would make him a more fair tech card. Because you're not just killing them. They're still doing their thing. And obviously, I think negative needs to be balanced correctly first before you do this. But it's actually letting you kind of compete with them. Because your cards are also free. What do you guys think about that?
I like it. I
I
like the amount of like balancing it, but
I don't know. That kind of feels. I don't know if I like a tech card being like that though. Is the thing.
It doesn't even. Don't call it a tech card then. Call it a counter card. And now it counters cost reduction.
I guess it makes sense. It's just it's a weird card. It's interesting. I'll give you that. I don't know how I think about it. I don't know how I feel about it.
And then they can explore the design space and have cards that have higher stat lines, but they also reduce your opponent's costs of their hand. And he actually has synergies now instead of just being a pixie and negative card. Like I think that that's cool. Whatever. Another one I don't have one for Luke Cage because I don't really care about this card. The Mobius and the Stardust are the ones that freak me out a lot. But I mean, obviously Cage is a problem, but I don't really care personally. With Stardust, just make it hit one lane. The argument is then Hela destroys you because she revives all of her cards in the other two lanes. But with Hela, you want to have Hela fill her lane and that way you can actually have your cards revive in the other two. Stardust is a face down card. You don't know what's happening until the last turn. So if you Stardust a lane, it's similar to Juggernaut, where it's like, okay, now you're spending 4 energy and instantly winning a lane. If you're putting enough power to win the Hela lane, and then you just Stardust the other lane, you're now winning against Hela. So it's still countering her. It's just not instantly killing her because you can actually play around it with things like Blink, Jubilee, and you actually need to make a prediction to get value. I want to know what you guys think about that concept for Stardust, or if you have any better
I like
ideas.
it.
yeah, I
I
mean,
just
you could also fizzle.
yeah, I like it. I just reduce the
What was
cost
that?
on it. Then I just make it like a 3-4 or something like that.
Yeah, you could
Three
make it a 3
four.
cost.
Yeah, like it'd be like a proactive like Cosmo essentially to prevent stuff from respawning, and then you play like Jug in the Hella lane, then you just Stardust the other one,
Hmm.
and you can like also like clog up the Hella by playing Luna Snow, right? So it gives a lot more interaction to playing around Hella, and that's the kind of like that's just too high level though. I don't think they're just ever gonna do it. I think it's easier for them to tell the average player put this card in deck, you win.
Well, it's theory crafting. I obviously this is the route they're going, and we kind of just have to deal with that. But I still don't love it, and I don't even have an idea for Luke Cage. They tried with Luke Cage, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. All right. That's gonna be it for us. This was a very fun podcast, especially the Bully Snap segment. You can find Denish at twitch.tv/Denish_Hella. He streams sometimes, and he streams mostly Hella. You'll see him playing Hella in a variety of shells, including Arishem that one time. You can see Xenaid at twitch.tv/ZenaidTFT, and he streams a ton of decks. You can, if you really enjoy the Bully Snap segment, he sometimes does that on stream as well. He's a very fun watch. You can find me at twitch.tv/SMLZTTV. I should be streaming a lot during the week of the 10th 8 Cube Circus podcast. I'm going to be hopefully streaming a lot that week so I can really show you guys how I climb. You can also find me at youtube.com/@SnapAcademyYT where this podcast is posted. We are trying to get some more content out. I've been crazy busy lately, but I am making an effort to try to get more content out for you guys. That is going to be it from us at the 8 Cube Circus today. We all hope you have a lovely day, and we thank you for listening.